Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback. I am Jay Stockwell, and I am very, very disappointed.
I'm Bob Frady. I'm not even gonna say my name. Let's just put it on the podcast.
All right, I got to get some stuff off my chest here. Okay,
That's a lot of stuff because you got a big chest. So
I said at the opening of last week's pregame pod that I'm really concerned about the Rhule to Penn State rumors and how distracting it would be. I was 100% right about that. Okay. Number two, it is utterly embarrassing that we let Minnesota get 9 sacks on us. We have a problem with pass protection, and a big part of that is with the quarterback. Okay. And he has no mobility. He's got concrete galoshes. He's got a lot of talent. I get it. But the coaches need to help him get the ball out faster. Okay. And I hear all the excuses on the first two plays of the first drive were RPOs, and Dylan has the option to throw. And Isaiah Hunter missed the call. It would have been a 70-yard touchdown had he run the route. All that. It was a sack. Okay. That's coaching. Okay. I think the one coach who's really distinguished himself on this team is the special teams coach. And I think Rhule might want to consider naming him assistant head coach. Okay. Third, Matt Rhule needs to be more of a football coach than a persona. Okay. This year's all these changes, the weight loss, the hair, the house rules, the Pat McAfee show. Okay. You know how you develop your brand as a football coach? You win freaking games. All right. You win games. Look at Kirk Cignetti. Okay. That guy ain't going on his own podcast. That guy ain't on the Pat McAfee show every week. That takes time as a head coach to go do those things. And that takes time away from coaching. Okay. Now, I'm not a doomsayer. I don't think all is lost. I think they can make corrections. But I lay this 100% on the coaching staff. And a little bit on Dylan Raiola.
wait a second. You just said Dylan Raiola was the problem. So which is it? Is it the coaching staff or is it the quarterback?
Both. It's both. It's both.
I would say that there are grains of truth in everything like so much of what you say. There are grains of truth in everything that you say. The conclusions I would draw differently in some ways. I think that I saw a really interesting video of a Nebraska play where someone from Minnesota was in the backfield, and none of the receivers have even turned around. And this is there are two problems I have, both of which are with the coaching staff, and I don't blame the kids. Number one, the refusal to run the ball. It's like I watched the Patriots on Sunday with Mike Vrabel as their head coach. And you know what he said to his coaching staff this week? He said, we're going to run the ball. Adapt accordingly. I'm not sure that anybody has said that same thing. You have a wonderful running back in Emmitt Smith, and if he's not touching the ball 20 times a game, then you've lost the game. Either that or you're pulling him at halftime. So, number one, refusal to run the ball. You watch the first series, pass, sack, pass. After it gets into the second half, pass, sack, pass. It's like, come on. You're putting too much responsibility on the quarterback to solve that problem because you don't have the offensive plays that are designed for quick hits. Like I said,
they have them because they did it against Maryland. They have them. They just didn't do them.
It's like, why isn't your tight end getting 5 or 6 balls a game? He's out he's out too far. Where's the 5-yard dump down pass? It's like it doesn't seem to be in their lexicon. Everything wants to be downfield. Everything wants to be a hero ball. So number one, I think the refusal to pound the rock is, and we've been saying this for 2 seasons.
Especially against Minnesota.
2 seasons we've been saying this.
Yeah.
And it's not the offensive coordinators, it's the head coach at that point. You got to put your foot down and say, we're going to run this ball. We're going to ride this horse, second best back in the Big Ten, and we're going to see what happens. Number 2, bad play selection. I don't care what kind of an offensive genius you think you are. If your line is giving up penetration, then you got to have the quick 5-yard dump outs. Why isn't the tight end catching more balls? This is why, I swore Thomas Fidone last year had the same issue. It's like, it's not a critical part of their game. When you have a high wind situation and a leaky offensive line, you need the tight end, and they don't use it enough. So I blame this squarely on the coaching. Matt Rhule got his pants pulled down by PJ Fleck. And you can say it's his staff, whatever, but at a certain point, the buck stops with the head coach. Pants pulled down. It was 7-6 at halftime, but they got boat raced to the second half. Wasn't even competitive because they come out and they do nothing. And there was a play. Emmett Johnson had just gained 12 yards, first down at about the 34-yard line. And what did they do? Pass, sack, pass. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like Emmett's all fired up. They're running right down their throat. They've got a suspect defensive line. And what do? We want to throw the ball because our coaches are offensive geniuses, and offensive geniuses are the guys who wins the game. You give me 200 yards in a cloud of dust, I'm happy. Take the win. I don't care about your RPOs. I don't care about your play designs. Get the ball out in less than 3 seconds and run the ball.
And Halverson really personalizes this stuff when he talks about the games. Oh, I gave him the ball. I threw him the ball. I ran him again. I did this. Dana, you called a bad game. You just did. You called a bad game. PJ Fleck had a plan, and he stuck to it. You could just see him pacing up and down the sideline, knowing that he has a plan, and he's just going to be methodical, and it's going to work, right? I mean, this is the first time we've never scored a touchdown in the Matt Rhule era. So one thing I hope that does is kills Rhule to Penn State, okay? And guess what? If he loses to Northwestern this week, he might well lose his job, okay? I mean, Northwestern, if we follow up and do exactly what James Franklin did, okay, there's going to be blood in the water in Lincoln. I mean,
now all that said, George, what do you think?
I've been quiet for the last 7 minutes just listening to you guys, and I am really, really tired of it. You get no offense. You guys are old enough to have seen the success of Nebraska football. I have never seen success since I was born. We've never gone to a major bowl game. We haven't beat a top 5 team. We haven't done anything, and I am seriously tired of it. And
I mean, this fans say the same thing on TV today. Yeah.
This is, you see every terrible team come out of the mud eventually. You don't see Nebraska do it. We suck. We are one best in terms of facilities, in terms of funding, in terms of recruits. Yet we were always at the bottom of the Big Ten. And it really makes me sad, actually. I'm not going to talk about the game. Look, we saw the game. It was a clear coaching problem. We have good players, terrible coaches. We can't blame this on Raiola. He's a great recruit. He can throw the ball, and we have on paper we have a great offensive line. But then they go out there and the coaches make these terrible calls, and we can't produce anything. It is a clear coaching problem. I think people have to realize that. And if Matt Rhule doesn't get his hat out of his ass, if we don't blow out Northwestern, we fire Matt Rhule and put all of our money at a top coach, because I am so tired of being a Nebraska fan. Minnesota just beat a top 25 team. We haven't beat a top 25 team since 2015. Nebraska fans, I think it's time we hang it. I've seen so many comments on Instagram, on TikTok, of people saying it's over, and this loss feels different. We've gone through it before, but something about this game felt extremely different. I'm really tired of it.
And
with the white unit, right?
No. It has nothing to do with the uniforms. We could play in whatever uniforms we want. It's about how we play football, dude. Every other team wears different uniforms. We need to play football. It doesn't matter what uniforms we wear. I'm tired of it. That's my rant. Matt Rhule, figure it out.
I'm just saying it was yet another distraction in the week. Oh, I'm going to call PJ Fleck and we're going to do the cancer thing together. And we put freaking pink masks on. Give me a break. Like, what?
Listen, Listen,
Does it
okay,
really
yeah,
matter what
that
they
stuff
wear?
doesn't matter. That
It
stuff
doesn't
doesn't-
matter, dude.
It's
It
you know
doesn't
what it's red meat for people who hate all things woke.
No,
So
I
it's
would support cancer. We'd still
No, it has nothing to do, dude.
Yeah.
We just need to figure out how to play football. The uniforms aren't going to change the game. The superstition stuff is extremely stupid. It's a game of football. We need to get a head coach that can actually. Matt Rhule needs to get off the media. He needs to lock himself in a room with the team and figure it out, because it is utterly embarrassing. As Nebraska fans, we are the laughing bunch of Power Four.
and you can't touch
Laughing bunch.
Raiola's uncle because he's part of the deal, right?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the
why
thing.
why don't we send Raiola away and put Latif in the game?
Hold on.
I think you're right. Raiola is a great player. We're just
Great player.
mishandled. He's
Let's not jump to conclusions, because as Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana have said, everybody has bad days.
He's had bad days for 10 years straight. 10 years.
You know what? Everybody has bad days. Everybody makes mistakes.
his whole life.
So it's
Entire
it's-
life.
My whole life, I had Tom Osborne.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing:
Came
I
to
mean,
thinking the year I was born.
if you want to look at the value of coaching, just look at UCLA. You know,
Yes.
that's the value of coaching, and that's the value of good play calling.
there's nothing to do with the players. It has
And-
everything
and
to do
everything changed
our
with the
coaches.
players when you change the coaches. And I know we're all buying into this year 3 hype, but those were different teams and soft conferences. They were not the Big
very
Ten.
soft conferences.
And the
Freaking Big 12. The Big 12 is the laughing stock of Power Four. And for what is Temple in the American Conference? I mean,
The Big Ten plays a very simple brand of football: pound the rock, play action pass off of that, and Katie bar the door, because it's cold and windy in most of the places that matter in the Big Ten. And somehow Nebraska just refuses. And listen, we were at the game. We were there in very nice seats given to us by a Minnesota person.
Thank you, Blake.
And Jay almost got in a fight with somebody. Jay actually offered somebody $100 to shut up, which I thought was hilarious. And then he got up and
In hindsight, I think he was on the spectrum and he just couldn't keep talking. But in his head was right there.
and then he got up and left. Jay got up and left and turned around and talked to his parents. I'm like, and his dad said, "I'd taken the 100." I'm like, "Me too."
I was serious because he just was nonstop. It was like,
Yeah, and I'm
you know what I think about.
he was a passionate fan. He was a passionate fan, and you got to appreciate that when you see it.
You know what I think about the crap talk? I think that the Minnesota fans have every right to talk crap, because we just got our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
It was I gotta be honest, you guys probably heard it in this day. You guys heard F Nebraska every 10 minutes. You guys hear that? At the end of the game, I was joining in because I'm tired of it, man.
I look
I mean,
at it like this, George. If Nebraska wins or loses, how much of a real impact does that have on your life? Does it give you better
Well,
grades in school? Does it
no,
make you more
no,
popular with girls? Does it drive your car better so you don't bump into things?
No. You know what it does? It's a weird depression, because you get into each week getting all excited, and then you lose, and it's just like, dang, it's a mental toll when you're so bought into a program. And there's hundreds of thousands of Nebraska fans out there that are thinking the exact same way as me. So it sucks.
It's a cute stadium they have at Minnesota. Cute little 48,000 person stadium.
we said that driving in. Remember, we said this is a good looking stadium.
Wasn't full.
It's a great stadium. Huntington Bank is a great stadium.
Wasn't full. Had a lot of Nebraska fans there, and it was close at halftime. It was 7-6.
PJ Fleck takes all his heat because of his personality and the way he does things. But you know what? The guy wins the game. You know,
Yep. He wins enough games,
And he's got the most AP wins in Minnesota history as a coach now. So you can't hate on him. He's a great coach. He's got a lot to work with, and he's getting wins.
You get
so hats off to Minnesota for winning the game.
great
but-
culture. The row the boat thing really gets them all
That
going.
said, Nebraska laid a tremendous egg, and you got to figure out why. And the answer is simple: the coaching staff did not have them ready for that game, and you got to fix that real fast, or else you're looking at an abyss if you don't.
If we
I mean,
Yeah,
guys, if we lose to Northwestern, there is a genuine chance.
Penn
Go ahead.
State's going to be fighting their ass off. Okay, Iowa. All right, this is coming. All of it.
Every game is winnable and every game is losable.
Yeah.
The faith in
There's a
losing
chance
those
we go
games.
10-2. There's a chance we go 5-7. We could lose out. We could win out. It's going to be. I'm not going to.
Okay, let's not panic just yet.
I think the thing that you could see it on the sidelines, the body language after this, the multiple sacks, the 6-7 at halftime, it was just a bad look. All of it, and yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that pass interference call on a 4th down was a total bogus call.
It doesn't matter.
The guy had his hand, the receiver had his hand all over the defensive back.
Enough. You got to play well enough to overcome the bad call from the turnover.
True story, no doubt. However, that changed the tide of the game because it went from 7-6 to 14-6, and it should have been 7-6 going the other way. Now you can't blame the rest for everything, but that particular area of the field, both the Pritchett call and that pass interference call from the same exact place on the field. It's like somebody had a little rules book up there took us that was really interesting interpretation of some of those calls. So that said, that's our the Big Ten still needs to improve their refereeing a little bit call for the day, but this is squarely at the feet of the coaching staff. The team wasn't ready. The game plan was terrible. And as a result, we now have
literally, I really question Rhule's ability to adjust. Like, he made no concrete adjustments that changed anything in that game. Now,
the third quarter for Nebraska is always it's like the dark quarter. It's like I don't know what's going to happen, and maybe we'll adjust in the fourth quarter. But the third quarter in almost every game this year has been horrible, with the exception of the 2 1AA teams they played. It's like, who knows what's going to happen because somebody's going to out adjust you at halftime. That's coaching. And
I genuinely think that that Matt Rhule doesn't do anything at halftime except sit in the corner with his ego and just think to himself, what am I going to do after the game? Because
Bob, I think it's back to your fat coaching scenario.
We need a fat coach.
I think that
the fat coaches, the fat coaches, I mean, Matt's on Ozempic. He's got the style.
Well, we don't know that, but what we do know is that the weight loss may have stressed him out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, be who you are.
In the whole like loving on Penn State, he should have just come in and said, "Guys, I'm here for Nebraska. Next question. Over and out."
He answered that question loud and clear. He's not going to Penn State, and if he does go to Penn State, it becomes the Wisconsin of the Big Ten.
Yes.
So it's not going to happen.
Why are we even talking about this? He's not going to go to Penn State. He's not a good coach.
The rumor was he was the number 1 candidate. That rumor is now finished.
I saw something today that said that the search is over and it's Matt Rhule. So
that would, you know what? Then put him on a bus tomorrow. Give me Biff Poggi, and I'll be happy.
I put Mike Eckler as interim head coach and watch us win games. I guarantee.
Yeah, it will be UCLA. Will be UCLA. Mike Eckler knows how to coach students. Okay. He's one guy on that staff that knows what's going on.
Okay, I think we've made our point here, gentlemen. We're sorely disappointed in the coaching staff. Let's take a quick look around the Big Ten and see what happened last weekend. So, luckily, when we went to the game, we're going to the game. Here's the story of going to the game. Jay pulls up to my house in his giant Suburban, and he's like, "Here's the keys." I'm like, what? He's like, "I heard you didn't want to drink, so I got a roadie. You can't have one." So I end up becoming the designated driver, and thank goodness I was the designated driver, because I was able to take all of this with a certain degree of humor that normally abandons me when I've had too many gin and club sodas. And when Jay's yelling at somebody, I'm like, I'm not involved.
Oh,
you were. I heard you. Your back was turned, and I heard you. And I was like,
I said, I pulled out my wallet. I said, I showed him $100 bill. I said, "I will pay you $100 to stop talking."
Oh, you said it much more saltily than that, and loudly and angrily. Don't even give me like, "Excuse me, sir. Would you take $100 to buy your science?" It's like, no, it wasn't like that at all. Not at all. And then Jay's like a big guy. You're what, 6'3", 290. It's like he looks like he could go out and play offensive line. And the guy was like, maybe you'll just be quiet for a little while.
He did. I was the best of both worlds. He shut
Well,
up. He didn't have to say
You know
anything.
why? You know why he shut up? Because we moved you to the end of the row where you couldn't hear him. He didn't shut up. He was barking in my ear the entire time. But I enjoyed the play-by-play, so it was worth it. And then, luckily, I left in good humor. It's like everything about the weather was perfect. We had a great tailgate. The post-game was perfect. Everything about that day was perfect, except for the game. The game was terrible.
By the way, and we had George and I up early the next morning out to Denver University on the
Hey,
school.
we don't want to talk about other schools on here. We're talking about Nebraska football podcast.
I'm just going to give a shout out to Denver University. Complete a diamond in the rough in the school.
DU can't spell dumb without it.
You could pick up an athletic looking guy from there and make him our head coach, and we'd probably do a lot better.
Okay, let's take a look around the Big Ten.
Get the AP stats teacher.
I just want to say thank you to Rex and Jared Briggs for a great tour. That was awesome.
Like
They're
okay,
not going
great.
to watch this.
Yeah, like they're
Well,
watching.
no, I will send it to them. I'll point it out.
They're not going to
Okay.
watch this.
So last week in the Big Ten, I think the biggest game was Notre Dame at USC. USC at Notre Dame, won by Notre Dame. So
It was a good game, though. Very good game.
It was a good game, back and forth. It's going to be tough when USC comes east. They seem to
The faces of the players. I mean, that was a rough exit from that stadium.
I didn't see that, but when USC
I saw that.
When USC leaves California, I think they leave 20 points in their luggage back at home. It's like it just doesn't make the trip with them. So they're like 20 points worse away than they are at home. So that was a good game, but Notre Dame is starting to roll. No big surprises, with the possible exception that UCLA has won their third in a row and beaten Maryland. Poor Maryland. If they didn't have to play the fourth quarter, they'd be 7-0.
Literally. They're the 2022 Nebraska Cornhuskers.
It's just sad. And then Iowa, of course, beats Penn State.
That was a great game. That was a really good game.
And Northwestern shut out Purdue. They shut out the Boilermakers. So the team that Minnesota struggled to beat,
They're as good as we are. Northwestern's as good as we are.
Wisconsin shut them out.
This game's at home.
So no big surprises. Hey, we'll get to the game prediction podcast when we get to the game prediction podcast. Right now, we're stewing in our juice about the Minnesota game. It was an away game for Nebraska. It was a home game for us because we have a lot of friends who went to Minnesota, and they're texting us like, "Oh, poor Nebraska. N stands for knowledge." So had to deal with all that crap. But it is what it is. You got to take the good with.
You must actually pull that joke out for us at lunch on Friday, George. Remember?
Yeah. Thanks. So anyway, I think we spoke at our piece. You got a lot.
You know what? I think we boycott. I don't think we go big red this episode.
You got a lot. No. Listen, we're fans first. We always root for the.
We have to George. Look at my T-shirt. Let me just put that down. This is from.
That's how you spell it in Nebraska too.
Yeah. I'm all in. We are still Nebraska fans, even though we had plenty of feedback for the coaching staff. And this is going to be watched. I promise you, this is going to be watched by members of the athletic staff. So I will lead.
That's a promise that we probably shouldn't make because it'll come out on about Friday.
Well, we have some text numbers, so
yeah.
Right. But I will lead us, being the anchor fan here, on our exit.
Don't call yourself an anchor. Don't insult yourself like that. You're the primary fan here.
I am the primary fan. Let's be honest. But okay, go ahead.
Go Big Red!
I'm giving it just a small go Big Red. It deserves it this episode.
Little letters.
All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, put that in.
All right. Till next time, everybody.